Staff Sergeant Mendoza's extraordinary heroism and selflessness, above and beyond the call of duty, are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit on himself, his unit, and the United States Army.
An historic day at the White House for a Mesa family accepting the military's highest honor. The Mendoza family is accepting the Medal of Honor for an act of valor their loved one performed 70 years ago. Welcome back to EBB Live. It came as a huge surprise, and it started with a phone call from the White House to Mesa.
The family learning Congress determined their hero had been slighted out of the honor because of prejudice at the time against Hispanic and Jewish veterans.
It's the president. He wants to talk to you. And I said, what? I almost fainted.
President Obama called Alice Mendoza of Mesa to tell her her late husband is receiving the Medal of Honor.
And then I just said, thank you. I didn't even say thank you, Mr. President.
She was so nervous.
It was an act of valor Manuel Mendoza performed in World War II. He was in the Battle of Mount Battaglia, Italy. According to a December 1944 article in Stars and Stripes, he single-handedly broke the attack of 200 advancing Nazis.
The first thing I did was get on the internet and say, why now, you know?
He passed away in 2001. A year later, Congress called for a review of over 6,500 Hispanic and Jewish veteran war records from World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. They looked at those who received the Distinguished Service Cross, the military's second highest honor, to reevaluate whom out of that group should have received the Medal of Honor.
And they settled on 24, and my father made the cut. I was astounded. And that's how important what he did was, and so we were very, very honored.
Manuel Mendoza served in World War II after being drafted 2 months after marrying his wife Alice in 1942. With only the occasional newspaper and letter home to fill in the family, these acts of valor were kept quiet.
Because my father never talked about it. He served in World War II and National Guard and Korean War, so he had a lot of military years, but all the decorations and things were just tucked away in a drawer in his dresser, and he kind of put that aside and started his civilian life.
That life, which included raising 4 children and helping to build the Palo Verde nuclear plant.
You know, this is really a legacy that we can pass on to our family, and my dad being from such humble beginnings, you know, he never had more than a 4th grade education.
It has been 70 years since Mr. Mendoza's act of bravery against an enemy known for their prejudice. Now his partner in life, through war and more, will finally receive his due honor.
She went through those times with him, you know. She served here at the home front, but she served too.
And we should tell you a similar reevaluation of the war records of African-American veterans was done in 1996.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
Manuel Mendoza is only the 2nd World War II Medal of Honor recipient from Arizona. The other one is Sylvester Herrera. So for in-depth details on both Herrera and Mendoza's acts of bravery, you can pick up tomorrow's Arizona Republic.